Hello and hello, my wonderful friends and family out there, Facebook, in America, in the USA, in Canada, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, which is my hometown. Um, we got Trini and Barbados, Jamaica again. Let's say anywhere in the world you are today, please, today, anywhere in the world, I would love you to join me on my first show, my first live talk show. If I can, you can. If I can, you can. Today's the first show, and the reason why I'm doing this is to empower other women who are afraid to do something in life. Maybe you go through some sort of hurt or pain during that time in your life, but during the my show, you're gonna hear a lot about my life, my story, and other women's life and story, how they come up through that and turn their life around and doing something good for their community. So again, if I can, you can. I'm so excited again to have you guys joining me today. I'm so excited again for you joining me today on this global. This show is global, as I say, global. You know what's global. And for me, coming global, wow, I am so excited for that. And I want you to remember we are on Roku, Imagine TV, legairbrand.com, livestream.com, and Facebook Live, and more. Right? We have more places that we are on. So wherever you are and you channel it on, share this with your friends and family because it's going to be a great 1 hour that you're going to have with us today. Today, my guest is the owner of Imagine TV. So a year ago, I met this my guest, which is Arthlene, and for me, it was we had such a great conversation, and I think something she said to me, "Oh, you can be on TV," and I said, "Hell no, I would not do this." And now it's a year later, just exactly what we said and she told me. I end up being on my own talk show today. So, which is that? You want to say that? Divine intervention. So probably God had a plan for me a year ago, which I didn't know. But today, I'm so happy that I'm doing this. So we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come back for a commercial break, and we're going to come back.
Do you want to grow your online presence and expand your business reach? Our marketing team can definitely help you. Advertise with us today and let Imagine Me TV take your business to the next level. We are offering 3 affordable packages to the end of 2020. Package number 1, you will receive 1 flash ad at the opening of the show. We will also share your business name, location, and phone numbers, and that is only $59.99. In package number 2, you will receive everything from package number 1, but you will also get a second flash ad in the middle of the show. In package number 3, you get to be the show sponsor, and you will receive everything in package number 2, plus we will list your website, and you will also have a 30-second video ad. These are some amazing prices. So what are you waiting for? Contact us today at email address info@legairbbrandltd.com, or you can call us at 614-402-7034. You can also visit our website at legairbbrandltd.com. You can catch our show on several broadcasting platforms like liveyourstreaming.com, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and also on Imagine Me TV network at Legair Brand Limited Company. We have viewers in all 50 states and globally. We are international, we are national, we are worldwide. Canada, Africa, Asia, Europe, the Caribbean islands, just to name a few. We are Imagine Me TV, your number 1 virtual TV talk show.
Hello, we are back, and we are back again to if I can, you can talk show. And today I have, I told you before, I had this wonderful lady, Arthlene Lawrence Legair, and she is the owner of LegairBrand.com. And so today, Arthlene, we met a year ago. We can say it's almost a year ago.
Yeah, it was in February too.
And and I know just recently we didn't get a chance for me to go through your bio as because this is like my first show, and so we now getting into the grips of thing, and so I just want to know a little bit more about you and Legair brand. How was it formed? Why did you start it and why?
Well, my dear, I am so delighted to be, on your show today. And like you said, it was about a year ago, and it was in February, right before that crazy pandemic. Lord Jesus, that we got together at I think how did we meet? On some site that
so it was I think we were looking. I had started my business and we were looking for a space to hold a meeting. It was I think it's one of our Fayetteville, so we live in Fayetteville. So it's one of our Fayetteville platforms that I met through Arthlene.
Yeah, and then I remember because I was advertising space that I had the space to rent. And then I think you sent me a message the first time, and then I scheduled a meeting if you came to the store. And right away, what should have been, because normally my meetings are like 15, 20 minutes or, just talking to someone. I think it was over 2 hours. Just the first time we met, we were talking for like 2 hours.
Yes.
But this is what I like to do, which, to empower women. And as women, that's what I think that's one of the greatest gifts that we have, that if we can empower and encourage each other, we can do so much more. There's no, between me and you, we have no room for competition. And even as you guys,
you can see that.
You'll see like we encourage and help each other out. So
one thing I liked about you when I met you, I know you told me a story and we all have similar story, but one thing I love, for me, I have a nonprofit which is dear to my heart. It's called Joyful Hearts. And the way I started that is one of the things about as a child I was abused and my parents weren't educated. And education became a sticker for me. Education became something that I wanted to be my siblings so that we all can have education, seeing that my mom, my grandmother, they couldn't read nor write. And so for me, when I see young kids, especially, and another thing for me is when I see people in poverty, like young moms and they can't afford to even send their kids to college, and that kid wants to go to college. So that's when I formed my nonprofit. But I want you to tell me, because what I love about your Legair brand, which is your nonprofit part, can you tell me more about it and why you started it?
Okay.
You know how I started it. Let me hear yours.
I didn't get to answer the first question, so I'm going to go back to that, who I am, and then my name is Arthlene Lawrence, and my older name, hence Legair brand, Arthlene Legair Lawrence. Legair is kind of like my what would I call it? My public whatever name. But anyway, I am originally from the Caribbean island of Dominica. You're from Trinidad, and I started really as a fashion designer into all of this. And Imagine Me TV, which is the network that you're on right now. And I want to encourage you guys. Debra is doing a phenomenal job. This is the first time, really on being on a national show, hosting our own show. So we really want to encourage you. So please, guys, go ahead and share this. Invite your mother, your sister, your brother, whoever it is. Invite them to come and see the show, because I know she's going to do an amazing job. Her show is going to be every Saturday at 1 p.m. So make sure you guys tune into this, because I'm telling you, she is a powerful woman. She's a powerful woman of God. She loves people. She's very empowering and very encouraging. And hence her topic, if I can, you can. I'm telling you, you guys, you want to be a part of this. So just share this, so then that way we can get the word out there to let people know that my dear friend Deb is having her own show. Now, my sister, now you are a celebrity. You are like, you're a host of your own TV show. It looks like I'm interviewing now. Let me switch back to, I'm sorry, that habit. That's how you're going to be too. But anyway, so I started really as a fashion designer a few years ago. And a dress I made for my daughter, and then my pastor saw it, and he really empowered me and encouraged me to go for that gift. And that is something that you do as well. Just when you see a gift in someone, encourage them to do it. And here I am, maybe I think like 10 years later. I have done so much. I have literally traveled the world and done fashion shows. I have also written 3 books and just a lot. I am married to my husband is from Barbados. See, we keep it in the islands, okay? Dominica, Barbados, but he is actually behind the scenes and really doing a phenomenal job. So give shout out to my husband and to my children, to my friends and family, you know, that have really empowered and encouraged me. So Imagine Me TV, the reason I started this network, I actually started in radio, and the focus was on our Caribbean people, but not just Caribbean, but Caribbean people with, you can have American roots or roots from anywhere, but we're in the US. But I wanted to bring more exposure to our people. And it's really working, because now, even as Debra tell you, there's over 50 countries that are actually tuning into our show. I mean, I don't have the list right now, but later on we'll show you the list. But I wanted to bring that awareness that, you know, the Caribbean, we have a lot of amazing professional people, even just like yourself and like myself. So that's how the radio show started. And then it moved into Imagine Me TV. I want to encourage people to, when God give you a vision, to write it down. That's a vision I had, Imagine Me. And that was 9 years ago, and I did not understand what it means until 9 years later. I realized it was Imagine Me. Imagine Me TV Imagine Me is a movement, Imagine Me TV, and we have Imagine Me, just different things that we're doing. So this is how we came about it. So that's it. So
that's awesome. You know, Imagine Me TV. So what made you? How did you come up with Imagine Me TV?
Yeah, so I in 2008, 2009, when I did my first fashion show, when I was preparing the collection, I got the word Imagine Me, and I thought at that time it was that was going to be my theme song by Kirk Franklin, Imagine Me. So actually in the show, I had someone dance that Imagine Me. I did not know at the time that it was going to be a TV show. So I thought it was a book. So I tried to write a book about Imagine Me. That didn't work. I tried to do all kind of stuff. 2 years ago, I created the logo, and it said the Imagine Me movement. So I know it's a movement. I just did not know the TV part was in it, because the movement is, I want girls, whether it's young Black girls or white girls, whoever, women that have been abused, women that feel like they have no hope, to imagine me. And your title comes right in. If it's like, if I can, you can. And that's why you come in to encourage these women. Imagine me, you know, a talk show host, a doctor, a lawyer. We can do anything that exactly. We want, you know. So that is what it is about. That I want, when people hear the network name Imagine Me TV, they know, okay, wow, if she can do it, you know, I can do it.
Yes,
you know?
It doesn't matter. Not even doctors, lawyer. You could be a single mom. You could be
Anybody.
young. You know, just recently I started talking to people about young kids. You know, we grew up in the island, and we never really, and I would say, when I moved to America, I never knew what poverty was. I never knew what it is to live in an apartment. And for me, it became a culture shock when I looked at them, like, why people live like this? So I started helping younger people. And so I always look at it. If you're 16 or 14 or 15 and you have a goal, or you have I call it a niche, take that niche and follow it. You know, you can have a job, but have that niche. And I love what Arthlene is doing with young women, or young woman, whatever age you are. She's helping you to do something that you love, or even if you like sewing. I have a story for you, Arthlene. I remember when I was young, my grandmother sent me to sew. And my brother, myself, and every time we go to sew, I'm like, this is not right. I am not a domesticated person. I'm not going to be doing this. I am not sewing. And my brother would sew everything.
Oh, wow.
And he would design all my clothes and everything. The teacher told my grandmother, why you send this child here? Because she doesn't want to sew. Now, look, it's so funny. I'm hanging out with the top designer. So this is so funny. And my brother, you know, he became a top fashion designer, tailor in Trinidad and Tobago. And I admired him for that because he took what I didn't want. I always wanted to be in business. And so for me, from a sense that. So I love what you do.
Sewing is an important thing though, because even my children, when they were growing up, like they would watch me, so I would show they know the basics of sewing. But what amazes me was when my son entered into the Air Force. He was like, "Mom, I'm so glad I can sew," and because he was asking for needle thread and a sewing kit, and I'm like, "Why do you need that?" Because even in the Air Force, if their pants is on him or they need a button, they're gonna have to be able to do that for themselves, So I think that's one of the things with teaching the young people, and I know we'll go into that more. Sewing is a very important thing, and I think if everybody could even just learn the basic, it will help you.
Remember, we just had a client, right? A young client.
Yes.
It's so funny you talk about sewing. In this young man pushed me into sewing, which something I didn't like doing, but I know I remember the basics of sewing. And he said, I want to be a fashion designer. Can you teach me to sew this? And I still don't like the sewing, but I remember, and you know what? Arthlene became, and he's only 14.
Yeah.
And then one day you're gonna see him on my show because I want to bring young people, empower young teenagers. Do not just sit down home and say I can't do anything or watch television, especially in this COVID season. Just take something you like and just use it to feel good. Even when you go to college, you already have a business. And so this young man in the summer formed his own business.
Yes. Very proud of him.
Very good. So we bring in sewing, and Arthlene, you even taught at the Clayton State University.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So it's so thing to see having a trade, or what we call it, a trade or something to that. And you love it. I don't, Arthlene. I'm sorry.
and it might not be for everybody, but even that's why even with there's some things that you may like to do that I may not like to do, but then we want to give our young people, especially that option. Just like the young student that we had, that this is something that he liked, and the other thing, it can become a business for them. They can make money out of it. He makes kilos to sell. Oh my
gosh! I have to bring him on.
Yes.
And, as a mom, and we are mom, dads, we have kids. Just encourage them and anything. Like this makeup I'm doing today. It's my granddaughter. She's 16. I never like makeup, but I'm wearing makeup today. Right?
Yeah, she did a good job.
And you know what? She's gonna be.
Hey, Michaela.
She's gonna be my fashion. She's gonna be my makeup artist for my show.
Yeah.
Right. So this is so simple. We talking, and we're talking about the kids. You are empowered to do, their fashion designing and stuff. So how many kids so far have you taught in this?
Oh wow. I guess which is with the humanitarian work that I've done. I think I have helped like hundreds of kids, and I don't even put a number to it because it's just from different places. I've flown to Los Angeles to help a student there. He was in the Boy Scout, and paid my way over there to go and train him. And in a weekend, we started his own business. He was making bags to give out to the hospital for kids. He also had a charity as well, and he was 13. And he had
13-year-olds,
right? Two of them. Had the girl, and she was a figure skater in home business. I helped them with the business plan and everything, and teach them how to sew it. We were at the church, and we had a few volunteers that came, and we were there all day. And I think the pictures on my website. Then I even when I went to Dominica a couple of times because I do stuff over there. A couple of years ago, we did the toy drive, the breakfast with the designer. We did that, and the kids they were so appreciative. Sometimes the littlest thing that you give them, and then I met with a couple more groups in Roseau as well, and just empowering them. I've done stuff in Paris and in England. Literally just all over the world.
You've been a world traveler. And that's my goal. My goal is to travel the world now that my kids are older. So, I love it that you empower so many lives all over the world right now.
Yeah, and it's just to, like you said, coming from the islands, we did not have the nicest house. And We did not have everything. I did not have a silver spoon. Jeez, I didn't even have a wooden spoon, not even a calabash spoon. I had no spoon. But what I had was I had really great parents, and I had my sound mind that one thing I saw my dad, who just recently passed, he never worked for anybody. He was just a business person. And one thing I always encourage parents is to encourage your children, because I remember going back, like when I was very young, I tried taking my mom's canned goods and stuff when people would come to her and try to sell stuff to people, really like a little girl. Then I started combing people's hair for money. And just, we have to look at for these things. And I'm talking to a parent today, that you see certain traits in your kids, encourage them. Sometimes we see the kids have traits that they're natural at, and we're like, you know what? No, I want you to go to college. I want you to be a doctor. I don't have anything against that. I have a college degree, but I got in the trap of trying to get into school doing stuff that I had no business doing, that it wasn't me. And right now I have a bunch of student loan paying for a medical degree that I really did not want. I mean, all this fabulousness is not for nursing, okay?
I remember that. They were like, oh, you can be a nurse too. I'm like, no.
Oh my God, I went to school for nursing. I was almost finished. Like I was like, no, this is not for me.
No, I'm not.
But I was trying to please someone else,
I got you.
So encourage your family, encourage the kids or whoever is in your life that, okay, whatever you want to do, we're behind it, and that's what
and that's
is
a thing
about.
for you saying that. That's a thing in the islands. That's something that every grandparents, mother and father in the islands try for their children to do. Because I think the bigger world is that you got to get an education and you got to go to college. But college, when you go to college, you're in debt, right? Mm-hmm. So to follow you, for me, I choose not to go to college. I choose not to go to college. I end up going to school, but I choose not to. The reason why I choose not to, because I wanted to see my siblings have a good education. And I started at a young age working in the government service. I was making the money at 22. I bought my own house. Mm-hmm. So that was my choice, right? But right now, when I look back, I am still as successful as somebody who went to college, right? I'm successful as somebody who went to college, right? So for that, it's. I love when you said that. You don't have to go to college, and that's one of the things I encourage kids right now. That you want to go to college, but you start up with your niche so that when you come out of college, you don't have debts. Encourage parents. Don't force your kids if they want. We need carpenters. We need plumbers.
Exactly.
We need electricians. We need these kids with trades, cleaning people.
Yeah.
So if that's what they want to do and
owners.
start their businesses, you go ahead and push them towards it. Yes, make sure they get a high school diploma. I'm not saying no, but they still have something. Make sure they get to learn to read, write, and they can come to whatever they do, but just do that. So we're going to take a short break with a commercial break, and we're going to come right back to you. Here we are again. Welcome again. And remember to share. I would love you to share.
Great info.
If you can. If I can, you can. If I can, you can talk show. And remember, we on Roku, we on Amazon, we are on live on Facebook right now. So continue to Imagine Me TV. So please share. Continue to share. So we are back again with Arthlene, Legair, Lawrence. And just when we talked about kids in college, and I don't want you to feel that you don't have to take a college degree if you don't want to. I'm not saying that, but just remember, we have kids who doesn't want it. So just if you want to go to college, you go to college, right? And one thing I'll advise you: make sure that you do something when you come out of college, you can pay off your debts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna talk to you about something else. I know your husband, and I met your husband through you, which I adore him. Adore him really, because when I was going through a lot of pain and because I'm holistic, everything I do is holistic way. But I was grateful when I met him because this is who I am today. Look how I look today. Look how I feel today. How it's like it took me from years ago. How when a couple of years like so in Toastmasters, like 2 years ago, I'm a Toastmaster. And 2 years ago, I had a team of 500 people or more. And I couldn't really focus. But when I met Dr. Lawrence, I can say I'm smiling today. So I want you to tell me a little bit about the business he does. And I know you both are co-owners of this business.
Okay, so I think we have been doing it together at the center, but we just registered it late last year, and it's LEWECK, LEWECK, which is Lifestyle Empowerment Wellness Education Center. So both my husband and I always say, like, I take care of the outside, he take care of the inside. We love to empower people. We love to, and I know my husband loves it, to see people be all that God created them to be. What we do, what he does, and maybe one of these days we'll take you to the center. We actually have an office in Lifestyle Empowerment Center. So he's a holistic wellness naturopath. Everything that we do is deal with natural supplements. We don't treat anything. We just educate people on how they can better take care of themselves. God gave us a temple, and he expects us to take care of it. Later on, we'll put on I think he may have an ad that later on that we can put on. But even in the last couple months, and just like you said, some of the services that you use, it made you feel better. I had COVID, and I'm so thankful even for the guidelines that I was following for the whole year, even before I got it. And I truly believe that's what did not make me get the full force of it, because my husband had me making sure I took my vitamin D. I took Proaginine. There's another one, another immune booster from Synergy. I took the vitamin D. What else? We took everything natural.
I don't want to cut your
Oh, there's a Proaginine right there.
I'm having my cocktail that Dr. Lawrence is.
Hey, you shouldn't. There's no alcohol in it. No, it's 1:00. We don't do alcohol at that time. But this is the Proaginine that she's just taking.
I think he mixed it with Proaginine and Immune Boost. So
okay,
that's
you got the good stuff. No wonder you have all this life. And I did take mine this morning, so that really helped. That even when I got COVID, that some of the symptoms I had it, but it was not as bad as maybe someone that normally did not take, what they needed to take. So I'm fully recovered. It's been a few weeks. We got our negative test, but we have the office. So if you're in Fayetteville and you want to come and visit us, he does. Let's see. We do food detox, reflexology. And I'm telling you, there's this. I wish I had it though. There's this machine. It's called the laser. Woo!
I know. I can tell you about
I am
the laser.
so glad that is my husband, because then I can use that laser anytime. But the laser, you got to tell us about the laser, because you had the experience.
So I had an accident like 4 years ago, and I would have these headaches, and I would come to him, and he would do that laser all over my head, and I'm still suffering with back pains. But today you see me, I can just I can dance, I can move, because when I get to that place, I did it for 4 weeks straight, or almost 6 weeks, and I was so amazed when I get out of there. I had more energy. And you can say, if you saw me before and if you know me, people who know me, it's like, Deborah, what's going on with you? Because I was like bags under my eyes. And I just feel so, but after doing that laser treatment, one of the things that struck me though, he did the laser treatment on my head and I would cough and cough and cough, like on thing. And like it's so, and I'm like, why is this happening? But then like a couple of days after, I realized with that, it had me focus. I was able to focus more. So whatever energy or whatever was going on, it was like coming out. So you know what? I would advise you just check out Dr. Lawrence. Hadley Lawrence and Fed. And I'm not sure you have a Facebook page.
Yeah, we have a Facebook page. Or they can just email.
Or email at what's his email? Can you say that to the
drlawrence.arthlene@gmail.com. So drlawrence.arthlene@gmail.com. And if you guys just even go to, you can see my name across there. If you go on our Facebook page, and I think he's going to put an ad later on. You can see it as well. I think I have a card there with some of the stuff that he does. But also, if you can check Debra. So some of this stuff is a holistic and wellness lifestyle, rewards your energy, enhance your health and fitness, and balances your mind. So it's nutritional microscopy, iridology, reflexology, food detox spa, lifestyle and nutritional counseling, educational presentation, public speaking training. So these are some of the different things that is done in the center.
Perfect. So now we're going to come on to this. I know you are a woman of different businesses. So are you not only a fashion designer, you're not only a book author, but you have a nonprofit.
Oh, yes. There is my partners. Yes. My favorite.
So how did you start this nonprofit and what made you create this nonprofit?
Well, I started this nonprofit in 2015, but I didn't even realize just recently how much it was in me when I was writing a book. And I realized when I was writing about my dad, who just passed, rest in peace, Daddy, I was like, wait, I'm doing everything that my parents used to do. And they were doing it not even having much, you know? But I remember starting Restore to Empower. I was really, really proud of my daughter and my son because they really, when we were in Ohio, Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever, they would want to go and feed the homeless, do this different thing. My daughter, they go to school. If a kid need what they have, they would give it to him, or they would come with this story. This person didn't have lunch, Mom, I gave them my money. And I was like, you know what? I think I need to start a nonprofit. So when I first approached my daughter, I wanted to call it Noble Heart because of her name is Alicia, and noble, her name means noble. And she's like, "Oh, Mom, why are you gonna start stuff with me? I ain't dead." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Wait, you don't have a charity because after dead person." But I was like, you know what? Let me just leave it alone. And I had registered it Noble Heart. It wasn't until a little while after when we moved to Georgia, we really got into that in 2015 and called it Restore to Empower. And the reason I came up with that name, I had written one of my books, which is Rising from Life, Challenges and Struggle. I am qualified and approved by God. I realize so many people sometimes they're looking for qualifications and approval from other people. Mm-hmm. But I remember that I went through a terrible divorce and all the stuff I was going through, homelessness and abuse, all kind of stuff. But God restored me. He restored me to do what I'm doing today. And I was driving on the highway, and that's when I got the word qualified and approved by God. And we added it pretty much to Restore to Empower. So Restore to Empower, I take a lot of my experience and a lot of the things I've been through to make sure that we can, people that are homeless, especially abused women and children, that I'm like, okay, if I can do something to help them, that's what I want to do. So with what I'm doing, it's not just giving them stuff, but we have a program where we empower them, where we train them and make sure that we help them if they need stuff, but I want to be able to give them hands-on training that when they go out there, whether it's with GED, sewing classes. Right now we have
one of the things I know you're talking about that, it's not interjecting you, but I love the part when you talk about you are empowering women who have been abused. I have been one, and that's how we become friends.
Yeah,
And
we're talking
for
about
me,
it.
I'm gonna tell you this. As young kids who have been abused, it took me 50 something, almost 40 something years to speak about
Really,
it.
you don't even look like you're 50.
I'm 61
look
and I
at you,
enjoy
black
it.
on crack. Yeah.
It took me about 40 something years of my life to talk about it. And I love it when you said you have a organization that can help women. I didn't have that. I didn't have that to even speak about it because one of the things I was afraid to do is speak. Speak about being abused as a child because the abuser was always around you. And as kids growing up, you're going to be okay. You can't talk about it. And as a young woman, you always have to be in that high esteem. So young ladies must be seen and not heard. And I know a lot of people out here could identify with that. You're a young lady, you can't see nothing, you can't talk about it. So I love what you're doing, empowering women to come out. And today I'm asking you, as Arthlene is saying it, and I'm saying it to you, just come out and don't be afraid. And if you want to come on our show and talk about it, that's what we are here for. Because to talk about the hurts, the pains, that it stared me in a spiral around for years.
Yeah.
Yes. I decided to get married for the wrong reasons. And then you attract the wrong people in your life.
True.
You do so many wrong things, and when you realize that, oh my gosh, you are the bad one, you steer away from people because you feel everybody's going to hurt you, right? You do not fulfill your dreams of what you want to do. When you have kids, your kids end up doing the same thing that happened to you and falling back into that same track because for you, not the freedom to say, tell your family or tell your friends that this happened because people are going to look at you. So I love it how you are empowering. You have this lifestyle center that because we have too many women or kids, and I'm looking at it from a child age. I was maybe 5 or 6, and that happened to me until when I was old enough to say I could run, and I started running all my life. Wow. But when I met you that day, and I felt another woman, I'm like, I don't want to cry right now. I met another woman who told me that, it's okay because it happened to me too. And you became that person that what I am doing today is because I was able to talk to you. I was able to talk to you for 2 hours or more and not feel afraid. I have one other person who I could talk to about it. When it first happened, like I was at a retreat in church and I had another woman who told my story, which I was afraid to tell for over 40 something years. But then Arthlene was the one when after that, a real woman that I could have sit down and talk to. And knowing that she's out there helping other women. And not even women. And I found out it have men. I found out it has men, young boys who it happened to. And for me, I was striving all my life to save my siblings from what I went through. So thank you.
You're welcome. I see that's you're welcome. A lot of times we go through challenges and we think this challenges is just for us, but just like I helped you and we're helping other people, I had the same too, because I know my friend Debra over there in Ohio and another friend of mine, Toya, they really had a huge impact. We're going to go into a quick break and we will be back soon. So thank you for listening. Tell everybody, they need to hear this story. Come on.
shortly, and that's the beauty.
So welcome. We are back again, and I hope you are sharing. And I saw on Facebook I had a post, and I want to thank this person for saying, you know what, I am so grateful that you like the show. But I would love you to go about and share it with other people. And if you know any other woman who would love to come on and talk to the show, and if you would want to come talk, just and you know my number, inbox me on Facebook or send me an email or you have my phone number, just call me. And I love it. Thank you. Thank you for saying that it's great. It's going great. And remember, we are on Roku, we are on Amazon Fire, we're on YouTube, and we are on Facebook Live, Imagine Me TV. And so just go on and continue sharing it worldwide because I know Arthlene is on fire, really, to help people with a nonprofit.
Yeah, so then as we continue with the like I was talking about the nonprofit, and you had asked me how I got started and stuff like that. So when I got let's say the revelation to help help people, I remember being in a situation where my kids and I had to live in my store in right here in Georgia because we didn't have a place to stay, and the store was not a very big store. We had no heat in there in the middle of winter. We had no bed in there. There was no shower. I actually took a membership from the gym just so my kids would go get a shower and stuff like that. So I know what it is, to go through this, to go through abuse and all these different things. And that's why today we do what we do. And I know we our time is running out, and you're going to talk about your charity too, because you have a charity as well. But right now we are focusing on the charity where I'm going to be focusing the new program on girls from age 13 to 19. And what we have a mentorship program for them where we will help them with their schoolwork and different things like that. But also we will have training classes. We will have different people from different professionals helping them. We have a fitness program. We have a wellness program that we're going to introduce them to. We have a nutritional program as well that we're going to interview them to. But we also try to make sure they have the food that they need to eat, if we can give them food. And I want to give a shout out to different companies that is partnering with us, like Walmart is one of them, Kroger's, let's see, there's Period. I actually have the flyer of Period as well, Toys for Tot. There's so many amazing companies. My friend on Melissa, that help us with food as well, and even you come with us and volunteer, making sure that the right people get the things that they need.
That's something to my dear heart. Always. So I'm also CRS certified.
Yeah.
So and that's one of the things what we do is walking in his shoes. So doing this is walking in the shoes of others. So even though we can say we are fortunate not from where you come from to where you are today, right? But so one of the things is giving back. I can never say I was never homeless. I can't say that. But I remember when I first started to work at a young age in Trinidad and Tobago, the first paycheck my grandmother said, and I was mad. I was so mad because she took my first paycheck and told me to go feed it to the whole hospice people. And I had to take it because you know what? We had to be obedient to our parents.
Yes.
So I'm like, why is she doing this to me? Why is she telling me to take my paycheck and go? Because I really didn't need the money. I could always say because we were always taken care of. And so I took my paycheck and I did it. But now when I got older, I realized what you're saying. It's that helping. And so me, I'm a sticker for the poor, for the homeless. So what you're doing, it's something that I've been doing all my life.
Yeah.
I taught my kids to do it. I lived in New York when I came from Trinidad to New York. When I saw the poverty, every Saturday morning, my kids and myself, we're going to we're going to get to the shelter where all the homeless people is. I got a friend who had a car, and we pack the food and make sure that they have a meal. So what you're doing is so awesome.
Yeah, and it's just something like you said. We learn it from our parents, and my parents did the same thing too. Like if we have family in England and stuff, they would send us really nice clothes and shoes. And my mom would be like, well, you can only wear one dress at a time, so I'm going to give the neighbors to them. Like, say what? You know, so it's just something that's natural in us, and you just never know. And sometimes we think it's people on the street that need, you know,
No,
someone
it's
can be
not.
in a really nice house and they need, so you just never know. So we, and even alongside with my husband, our goal is to identify people's, whether it's a physical need, a emotional need, a spiritual need, and wherever God has give us the gifting or give us the opportunity to be a blessing to those people, then you know, we make ourselves available. And God has really, you know, been faithful to us. So I'm just
Yeah,
I'm thankful to be able to do
and
that.
just like the trailer park we went to yesterday.
Yes, yeah. That was an experience.
It's something in that trailer park is the one that helped me form the nonprofit I have today. Because when I moved to Georgia, what I would do, we have the shrine in Atlanta from our church, and so we would go down there and make sure I have a soup kitchen every Saturday morning. But then I would go out on the streets. For me, I'm always say I'm a disciple of Christ. I would sit. I prefer to sit with that person and face to face. And I saw this mom, and she was wrapped in. We went to a show, and I saw this mom all wrapped with a baby, young baby, on the streets, and she didn't have nowhere to sleep that night. And I'm talking to her, like, how did you get here? How did you do this? What did this happen to you? And people, in what got me angry that night is a man walked and just fling a $5 at the woman instead of handing it to her. And what I always look at it, if we see somebody on the street, it could be Christ. It could be Jesus Christ in disguise in any way.
Yes.
Why would you do that? So I sat with her, made sure she got a hotel for the night. And help that woman to do something better. So you're talking about homelessness, something I could always say I never do today. I still have a house. We still have a house in Trinidad. We grew up in that. But coming to another country and seeing homelessness, and I'm happy for what you are doing with your nonprofit. And for my nonprofit, I want to say, God always talked to us in a way when we stay quiet and calm. And God said, the children are his future. The kids are his future. So if we can get the kids, especially the moms with those young kids who cannot even take care of them. And we have a young lady in that same trailer park I took you to yesterday. In the summer, our church will go to the summer park, the trailer park. And this one young guy I met, and I'm not going to call his name, and he would come in and always want food. And one day I started befriending. I want to be a policeman. I want to be this policeman. And then his face went dead. It's like, so what happened? He's like, my parents, they wouldn't sign. My mom didn't sign that application so I could go to this good school I wanted to go to. I'm so fed up with it. He was like 10. He knew what he wanted. I got someone to meet this young man. The next thing you know, when we got there, they were all gone. No number, no young man. They moved. But God had another young woman put in my life, and another family who I helped, again, with the homeless people, family who I helped, like taking lunches to them. The niece needed help for college. And that's how I started my nonprofit, helping young people in college. And today, I'm always so grateful for her. I smile every time I talk about her. She's a social worker.
Wow,
she's taking care of her brother, and she's in college again. So how many other homeless kids, and what are you doing right now by making sure they have food, making sure they have clothes, making sure they get to do so many things, that you are empowering these families?
Yes.
Just so great.
Yeah.
Just
it's you know, even the Bible says more blessed to give, you know, than to receive. I know.
We only have a few minutes, and I know one thing. I know you are a woman of God, and I know, and I commend you for that.
Thank you.
I commend you for how you always put God first and everything. Your husband too. So just give, as we know, we're about to finish the show. I want you to give the people, you know, a little thing about your life as a woman of God and how you can do it.
Okay, so that's I have so many favorite things like charity, serving God. I was brought up in a Christian home, and again, my dad who just passed was and my mom were very spiritual, but very religious too. And a lot of the stuff I learned was, religion, but I came to a point where I knew I needed to have a relationship with God, where I needed to know God for myself. And I can literally tell you my whole life is just, I live by faith, and my husband can tell that to you. Sometimes I jump before I think I was like, God's gonna take care of it. God,
We all do that, don't worry.
I was like, it's okay. I can do this. I can do this. And really, even if sometimes it does not work out the way that I thought it was gonna work out, it works out the way that God plans it to work out. A lot of times we have our own agenda.
Yeah.
We have our own plan. We think that this is how it's gonna work. But what I encourage people is to let go and let God. Trust God. It may not work out the way that you wanted. Don't give up, because I am experiencing that right now. I'm an entrepreneur. I've had so many businesses, and people were like, "Oh, don't do this," and no. Everything that I've done, even if it didn't come out the way I thought it would, God is using it today, to help it. So even if the charity, all of that is just by faith, that we step out in faith and do it. And it has been a challenge, even as a woman, as a Black woman, being able to establish these businesses. And when it comes to even getting, one of the things that we really, really need now, and I know that we want to share to, is getting like a really nice location. And I am believing God, and that's where my faith comes in again. I'm believing God for a 5,000 square feet building where we don't have to pay any rent, or someone is going to bless us. And if that's you that God is speaking to, you better step out and do it. But I'm believing that God is going to bless us with with a building and with the funding that we need to continue what we're doing to help women that are abused, women that are hurting, college, to people that want to go to college, the young kids. Even talking to the lady at the center yesterday, while you were there, this person, they came running like, "Hey, can I get a box of food?" So and that is what it is about.
And that's something I'm used to, because it's years I have been going there. I was the first, like, the pioneer who walked through that trailer park, just to get people to know you and not feel afraid, because they all are immigrants. But you know what, Arthlene, it's such a pleasure today that, you, a year ago, you told me I can do it. And that's what we say. If I can,
you can.
You can.
Yes.
And
Perfect name for you.
I never thought I could have done it. But it's such a pleasure that I can sit side by you today and say, we did it.
You did it.
I did it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I can't wait to continue this journey.
Yeah.
Continue this journey with you. Continue this journey with your husband, and as we grow each other in our businesses.
And I truly believe that, and I'll tell Arthlene, you're going to go back a year later, that God has a call on your life. God has predestinated you for such a time like this. Because remember, the people that I can reach is not the same people you're going to reach. We go different places, but your willingness to learn, your willingness to do stuff, to help stuff, God is going to take you all over the world. So you better be prepared. This is just a beginning. And because COVID is not even going to stop you, and the things that he has for you, the people that he's going to bring into your life, the people that you're going to help, what's the word I'm looking for? Exposure you're going to give to some people. All of this that you went through, God was preparing you for such a time like this. So I am just a little part in it. You're the one doing all the work. So, I am very proud of you.
It's a good thing you said that, because that's one of the things when I look at my journey, especially during COVID. And I know a lot of people out there, you didn't look at COVID as a sign of, it's COVID is this, COVID is bad, COVID is whatever. For me, COVID became something as a good for me. During COVID, I look back at my life, and I look back at where God has brought me from, a mother, 16-year-old mom, and God had blessed our grandparents to take care of them. And my goal in life is to build a school for my grandmother. In that is really where I'm going to. I'm going to be a missionary, and this during COVID, this is what I realized. So this show is going to go together with me anywhere I travel in the world as a missionary. I'm going to be a different missionary. I'm going to be a one who's going to be in the trenches with the people. That's what I'm doing.
So this is a platform for everybody that want to have this show.
So that's God. Yeah, it's a platform. If you want to have a show, this is a platform. Anything you want to talk about, this is a platform to come out and talk about it. You know what? We are so grateful. So we're going to take this and Natalie again. Thank you, Dr. Lawrence, and for allowing me today to sit on this platform. And I know we are almost about time to finish, and we can say, Atlan, do you have any, like a minute or so you want to say something to the audience out there?
Well, I just want to say thank you for having me on your show. I'm usually on the other side because like I haven't been interviewed. I've done interviews like on all these major networks long time ago, but since I started my show like more than a year ago, I haven't really been interviewed. So I am so honored and feel so privileged to sit on this side and being on your show. So thank you for that opportunity as well. That way I can, talk to your people as well. But I want to just, encourage anyone that's watching that her show is called If I Can, You Can. If we can, then you can. So we want to encourage you, whatever it is that God has placed in your heart, whatever gifting that He has given to, it's possible. That's where we are as women. Sometimes you may not know how to do it. We will help you do it. There might be someone that will help you. So I want to encourage you. Don't let not having the funding, not having. I still don't have the funding I need, but I've been doing it, and God always makes a way. You may not have the space. You may not have certain things. You're like, well, I don't even know how to speak. I was so afraid of speaking, public speaking. I'm telling you, and here I am today. So I want to encourage anyone that is watching that has a dream, whether it's to build something or have a nonprofit. And as Debra said, this network is a platform that God has given me. That anyone that wants to have this show, you'll be able to have your own show. We have a lot of slots still available. This show is all over the world. Like I said, there was like when I did a Google Analytics, it was like over 50 countries. So if you're interested, reach out to me, reach out to Debra. You too can have your own show. So if I can, you can.
If I can, you can. Again, thank you everyone for coming on. So next week I'm going to have a phenomenal guest, and it's a great friend of mine, best friend. It's like my family in Atlanta. And so I will bring her on next week. And look out for the flyers, look out for us, but again, share. And thank you again for listening to the show. See you next week at 1 p.m.